Hello everyone, this is Parag from Qtomation channel. Welcome to the second tutorial of JavaScript. So in today's tutorial, we will see what is document object model. We will see the first basic JavaScript program practical, and we will also see how JavaScript adds dynamic nature to HTML. So in last lecture, we have already seen that any web page is made up of different web elements. Now those web elements can be a button which we can click, a input boxes in which we can type the text or numeric values, radio buttons or different type of links. These are all the web elements which are constructed by using HTML language, right? So any markup languages that can be used to develop such web elements. And combinedly, this is known as HTML document. And on top of the HTML document, we use JavaScript to provide the dynamic nature to that HTML document. So simply saying, we can create the static web page by using HTML, right? And if we want to add some dynamic nature to that, then we have to use JavaScript. Now JavaScript is embedded within HTML only, right? So suppose we want to give some dynamic nature to a button. So for example, if I click this button, then some specific action should happen. Then for that we have to add the dynamic nature to that button. Or simply saying on web, so whenever web page loads, right? So for example, if there is one paragraph and I want that whenever that web page loads, that paragraph should be changed, the text of that paragraph should be changed, or maybe the color of that text should change. So this is all dynamic behavior, right? So if we want to add that dynamic behavior to static web page, then we have to use JavaScript for that. And JavaScript is embedded within the HTML only, right? JavaScript provides document object. That is one default object that JavaScript provides. But problem here is कि JavaScript cannot understand the HTML document directly, right? So JavaScript cannot understand the HTML document directly. So whenever browser loads the web page, what it does, browser calls one API and it creates the another view that is known as DOM view, that is known as document object model view. So browser, whenever it loads the HTML web page, it creates one DOM view, that is also known as document object model view, in which every tag of HTML is represented as one node, right? And every node is considered as JavaScript object, right? So basically browser whenever it loads the HTML document or HTML web page, it creates one similar view of that HTML document, that is known as document object model view, right? And this document object which is provided by JavaScript, it can directly communicate with the DOM view of that HTML page. So for example, any web element on which we want to add some dynamic nature, that can be accessed by using document object. So for example, if I want to access this button, so there is one specific button and on clicking of that button, I want specific action to be performed, right? So first I have to locate that button, and then only I can implement a dynamic nature, right? So for that, what happens, whenever HTML page is loaded by browser, it calls one API, and that API converts the HTML view into the DOM view, in which there is a tree structure. So basically each and every tag is represented as one node in the DOM view, and every node is considered as object, and document object is used to access those elements, and it provides the dynamic nature, right? So this is how the basic flow of this HTML view and DOM view. So basically DOM view is nothing but a same view of the HTML document which is created by browser on the time of web page loading, because JavaScript cannot understand HTML document directly, right? So in the next slide, we will see what is DOM. So basically we have just seen key DOM is an API interface which is provided by browser. JavaScript is hosted inside HTML, right? And JavaScript cannot understand the HTML document directly. So whenever web page is loaded, browser creates one document object model of the page, it is the same view of the same HTML file. And using that document object model view, document object can access the web element and it can provide dynamic nature to that element. Similarly, using DOM and document object, we can do multiple things, right? So whenever we want to change any web elements or any specific behavior we want to add, then in that case, we can use that document object. I think this picture will give you the clear idea. So for example, let's take a example of simple web page. So basically, this is a static web page which is designed by using HTML language. So if you can see here, there is a HTML tag, right? Close opening of HTML tag and closing of HTML tag. So in in this HTML document, there is one button, right? And is having label of click me. Similarly, we have text field, we have paragraph. This is second paragraph content. And if we render this HTML on the browser, then it will look like this. So you can simply here there is a button which a label is click me, right? So this is basically that button. Similarly, this is the first paragraph content, this is the second paragraph content, this is the input text box. So everything is constructed by using simple static HTML language, right? So this is the HTML view of the web page. Now, whenever a browser loads this web page, right? So we know okay, on the time of web page loads on the browser, it calls the API and it creates one DOM view. So this is how the DOM view looks. Correct. So if you see here, each and every tag which is present in HTML is represented as node in the DOM view. So you can see simply here HTML tag here there is a HTML ka node, right? Similarly head, body, button, input and all the tags which are present in HTML view are converted into the DOM view. So this is happening internally by browser only. So browser creates this DOM view and JavaScript object, that is document object, can communicate with the DOM view and it can access various elements in the DOM view, right? So if I example, suppose I want to access the button, then I can simply write the document dot get element by id. We can find the elements by using different locators. So document object provides different methods. For example, we can find by using get element by id or get element by class or tag name. So there are multiple ways we can access the DOM view ka object. So that is basically any web element. And similarly, we use that document object to provide the dynamic nature. So this is how the flow that we will have to follow. So basically this JavaScript will be embedded into the HTML view and on the time of web page loading, browser will create the DOM view and JavaScript will access the web elements and it will provide the dynamic nature to that web page or web elements. So in next practical, we will simply create one simple web page using HTML, static web page. We will render that page and we will see how it looks on the browser, right? And after that, we will provide some dynamic nature. We will provide some dynamic nature to that web page to see how JavaScript works on that, right? So we can simply change the color of this first line, or we can simply change the text of second paragraph, or on clicking of this button we can maybe display some specific content on the web page. That we will see in the practical only, right? So let's start with the practical as well. So I will simply create. So basically we have to create one HTML file first, right? So I will simply create one HTML file. Let's say I am giving name as a index.html, and we can use any text editor to edit this file. So I will simply use notepad++ to edit this file, right? So I will simply start writing, and basic prerequisite is key, we should know at least basics of HTML. So HTML is a markup language and even some basic knowledge of some basic tags is enough to create the web page, right? So I will simply start with creating one simple web page by using HTML tag. I am opening the HTML as well as we have to use closing tag as well. In that I am simply creating one head as well as I am closing the head. Similarly, I am creating the body tag and closing the body as well. So within body we can create different, we can use different type of elements within the body tag. So whatever we want to display on the web page, that element we can add within the body tag as well, right? So I will simply create one button. So basically I am going to create one button. Let's say I'm giving, so button is a tag name, right? So I want to give one identifier as well, so I will just give one identifier. So id is equal to button1. I am providing id as button1. Now I can define label, so I will simply put label as click me, and I am closing the button. So now I am just simply creating the one clickable button who will have the which will have the label as click me, and id of that button is button1. After button I am simply creating one text input field. Let's say input as a tag name and type is equal to text, and for this we are also giving one identifier. So here I am providing id as text input. Along with this I am also going to create one paragraph content. So for that we have to use p tag, and I am simply adding the content. So this is first paragraph content, and I am closing the paragraph tag. Now this, for this paragraph I am also providing one identifier. Now let's say I am providing id as p1. Similarly I am going to create one more paragraph, and I will just change the id to p2, and this is going to be, this is going to be the second paragraph. I am saving the file. So this is how the basic HTML we have to use. So let's save this file and see how it looks in the browser. So I'm just simply saving this index.html, and if you see, if you click on this file, it will automatically open this file on the browser. So I'm simply double clicking this file. See, I will just show you parallelly. So for example, this is the web page we have developed, right? So on browser it will look like this. So this is simply HTML button which we have added, right, with the identifier as button1. So this is the button. So you can see the label name here, it's also displaying click me, which we have used here. We have also created one text field, right? So in this we can simply write the text content, right? This is developed by using input tag, and type is equal to text, and we have provided one id, correct? Similarly we have created two paragraphs as well, right? So if you see here on web page, this is first paragraph content and this is the second paragraph content, right? So this is how the first paragraph and this is the second paragraph content. Now this is the basic static web page. If for example if I click on this button, nothing is happening, right? So because we haven't added any JavaScript or we haven't given any dynamic behavior so far for this click me button, right? Similarly it will be always static because we haven't added JavaScript or we haven't given any special dynamic behavior to any of the web element. Now if I want that whenever this web page loads, so I want that this second paragraph content should change dynamically. For example, whenever the page loads, I want that this text should change to some another text. So how we can do that? So to do that we have to use the JavaScript, right? And how we can use the JavaScript? So we have to use one special tag known as script tag, right? So I will simply add that script tag after ending the body. So I am going to use script tag and closing the script tag. So whatever JavaScript we want to add, we have to include that code within these two tags, that is close opening of script and closing of script. So basically this is nothing but our JavaScript, which we are currently embedding into our HTML document. Now let's see, I want to change the content of this second paragraph whenever the page loads, right? So first step is we have to obviously get the locator of that paragraph, right? So JavaScript provides document object, right? So I will simply start with document object, document dot. Now we want to find the element. So for that it has provided some methods. For example, document dot get element by id. So now we are getting the element by using id, right? So for example, here for we want to change the content of second paragraph, right? So what is the identifier for second paragraph? If you see here, p2 is the identifier of that second paragraph. So I am simply finding that element, and now I want to change that text, right? So for that there is a method known as inner html. So I am simply using the inner html is equal to what I want to place dynamically, that is, suppose I want to place this, suppose I want to place this is dynamically change. So whenever the page loads, I want to change the second paragraph ka text content to this content, right? So I am just placing using inner html. So document dot get element by id, I am locating the element, that is p2, and I'm changing the text which I want to be displayed whenever the page loads, right? So now let's save this file. Okay, now I am simply what I'm going to do, so we can simply save and reopen this file, or simply I can also so basically in the browser you can see that this file is open. So if I simply refresh this page, see, here you can see that this is dynamically changed, right? So this is basically this text contents has been dynamically changed. So what happened here, browser on the page loads, it created the simple html view, then it created the dom view, and by document object it accessed the our p2 element, and it dynamically changed the text content of that second paragraph. So you can see here now it is showing the content which we have used in the script tag, right, to change to give the dynamic behavior. So this is how we give the dynamic behavior to the second paragraph. Now similarly, suppose I want to change the color of the first paragraph content. So I want whenever the web page loads, I want to change the color of the first paragraph. So how we can do that? So again, for example, so I'm going to again going to use the document object, document dot, I'm going to access the first element. So how we can access that? So document dot get element by id. What is the identifier of the first paragraph? That is p1. P1 dot style. Now this is dot style dot color is equal to red, right? So I am giving the red color to the element which is present in the paragraph 1. So if I load this web page, you can see here this is now changed. This is basically a first paragraph content. Now color of the text is changed to red, right? So this is how we have added the dynamic behavior to the first paragraph as well as second paragraph. Now again, now suppose I am clicking on this button, right? Nothing is happening because we haven't added any dynamic behavior to this button, correct? Now for example, if I want that whenever I click this button, right, so whenever I want to click this button, it should display the date automatically, date and time. It should display the current date and time automatically here, right? So how we can do that? So for that we have to simply first locate the element, right? So I am just going to first locate the click me button here. I'm using document dot get element by id. What is the id of the button? बटन का आईडी is simply button1, and then I am going to use. So what is the action we are performing on the button? So basically we are simply clicking, right? So I want the action is the clicking on the button. So I will simply use the onClick method. So JavaScript has provided, document object has provided onClick method. So whenever I am going to click on this button, I want to display the current date and time. So there is, I can simply, so I am going to call this function. So basically this is the display date function. Now we will have to create this function as well. So I am going to simply create the display date function. So syntax is, we have to start with the function and the name should be same as which we are calling here, right? So function display date, opening the curly braces and closing of curly braces, and we have to write the simple statement for the displaying date, right? So in this function we will write, so before that I am just adding one blank paragraph below this button, and I will give identifier as p3, and I will keep this blank only. Now, whenever I am going to click on this button, I want to display the current date and time below that button, right? So I have written one line here that is document.getElement by id button1, and on clicking of that button, I am calling this display date ka function. And this display date function, what it will do? So basically, we are going to simply locate the paragraph 3 dot inner HTML. Now JavaScript provided one date function, by default date function, that returns the current date and timestamp. So I am directly going to use that here. So I am simply calling here, right? So if I save this file and I am again reopening this file. Now if I click on this button, what will happen? Right, so if I click on this button, you can simply see automatically it is displaying the current date and current time as well, right? So how it works? So basically we have first identified the locator, that is button 1, and whenever I'm going to click on that button 1, it is going to call the display date function which we have defined here. And what that function is doing, that function is locating the paragraph 3 here, and it is simply adding the date. So basically this date function provides that current date and timestamp here, which we are displaying here, right? So this is how we have added the dynamic behavior to that click me button. So similarly, JavaScript can be used to do multiple type of things, right? And one more thing is there. So we have written our JavaScript code within script, and we are closing the script tag here, right? So inside the script we have written the JavaScript code, right? Now there is one more thing we can do. So for project maintenance, normally JavaScript file and HTML file, right? So basically we have embedded this JavaScript within this HTML file. So for maintenance purpose, sometimes scripts can be more complex or it becomes longer to maintain, right? So in that case, we have to use another approach. So in that approach, we will place this code, that is JavaScript code, in some another file, and we will link that JavaScript file to our HTML file. So how we can do that? So what I am going to do, I am going to simply create one more file, that is, let's say, new file, js file. I will just rename that as a index.js. I can edit that file as well with any text editor, and I'm going to simply put the JavaScript code in that file. So whatever line we have written here within the script tag, right? So I'm going to paste this data into the index.js file, and I'm going to simply save this file. Now if you see here, now here we have the code, JavaScript code which we written earlier within the script tags. We have moved that code into another file. Now how I can link that file to this file, right? So we have to link this HTML file with that JS file. So if the file is within the same folder, right? So for that, firstly we have to use the source tag. So within script there is one source is equal to, we can give the path of that file, or simply if it's in the same folder. So for example, here that file is within the same folder, right? So I can simply give the name of this file directly. So I don't have to give the complete path of this file. So I am just giving the, as both the file are in the same location, so I am just simply placing the file name in that file, right? So basically this is the HTML document, and the JavaScript code we have written in another document, and we have given the .js as an extension in index.js file, and I am just simply linked that file, JS file, with our HTML file. So let's save this file, index.html, and let's see whether it works as it was working earlier, right? So I am just going to simply refresh this page, right? So see, it's still working, right? So if I click on the click me button, it's displaying the date and time. So these are the two approaches. So either we can either completely write the script within our HTML main document, or we can simply, in second approach, we can separate the document, we can separate the JavaScript code, and we can write that code in another .js file, and we can give the path of that file in our script tag with the source, so with as a source, right? So this is how, these are the two approaches which we can use. So like this, JavaScript can be used to do multiple type of things, right? So for example, JavaScript, by using JavaScript, it can change, or using the document object model, we can change all the CSS in the page. We can also remove existing HTML elements and attributes in the page. We can also add new HTML elements and attributes in the page. We can change all the HTML elements and attributes in the page. We can also react to all existing HTML events on the page. We can simply show, or we can simply hide different type of elements as well. We can also create new HTML events on web page as well. So these are all the benefits of using JavaScript, and how we can add the dynamic nature to our HTML page by using JavaScript. So in next lecture, we will see more about the JavaScript. So thank you for watching, guys. Let's see you in our third tutorial of the JavaScript.